much damage they need to. Can should be thrown out as well. My computer's not
He's
ready.
still around, by the
Dragon's
way.
in the game. He's still here. He's got 4 Marines with him.
And there's another one pulled in, and it's going to get Neural as well. Instantly shot down. That Talia not doing a huge amount there, but it's going to be obliterated in the process. And
looks like the Ravens trying to understand, actually pointed out the point defense drones. Battlecruisers are throwing down the amount of cannons, but here come the Vipers.
Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to Heart of the Swarm Exhibitions. My name is axeltoss. I am joined by axslav, and this is the segment where every day at 5 p.m. Eastern we have some fun with Heart of the Swarm. Yesterday we had an off-race show match between Goswser and Babyknight. Wednesday we had 2v2v2v2 and a mono battle. Those were fun 2v2v2v2s.
They were. They were.
We should have won.
Yeah, well.
You can catch the VODs at youtube.com/officialmlgse2. Also, a lot of rebroadcasting happens, so you may even be watching this like in the future. Maybe I'm going to be watching this in the future. Hello, future self. Tuesday, we had Arcade Spotlight. That was a lot of fun. Star Strikers, we lost again. And that was your fault too, I think. Yeah. I went back and watched the VODs.
It was my fault.
On youtube.com/officialmlgse2. And they scored right past you.
They did. I think 3 times.
Yeah. And, like, it was funny because, like, 3 times during the game, you were, like, going in the other direction. And I don't think you knew you were going the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for exposing you like this. But
no, that's okay. I'm not
I don't like losing, and you caused us to lose.
I think I'm a better goalie in real soccer than in Star Strikers.
You think so?
Yeah.
We might have to do a little bit of a challenge.
We should do that.
I'll kick a ball.
We'll record it. It'll be...
yes.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Monday?
It'll
be up on YouTube. And
yes. We might do that. All right, Monday. It's a little cold outside, though. Monday, we had King of the Hill. And today, we're going to King of the Hill. So today is going to be a continuation from Monday. Of course, Monday started out with Shu. It was his birthday. He won like 2 or 3 in a row. And then Goswser came in and started destroying everyone. He got 4 wins in a row. And today, he's going to go for 5 wins in a row, which is important because that's the streak you need to get some prize money.
Yeah.
So Goswser is going to be playing up first, and his opponent is going to be Babyknight. And it's a little bit interesting because they played yesterday.
That they did, but a little bit different. A little bit different yesterday.
Yeah.
Some fun reverse match, best of 7 action there.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to Babyknight after that show match, and I'm like, hey, are you interested in playing him tomorrow? And get some revenge? Of course, it'd be your normal races. And Babyknight's like, I don't really consider it revenge. Of course, his logic being it was his off race, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like he's actually beat, right? So
but here's the question: if he won, would he have counted it?
What do you mean? There wouldn't be a revenge.
No, I'm saying he said it didn't count as like a real match because it was off race, right? But if he won, would he be considered counted as a real match?
Probably not. Yeah, because his opponent's off racing. I don't know. Maybe we should ask him. But the players in the lobby, we're live right now, so I think I'm going to hit the start game button if that's okay with you, Mr. Nicholas.
Indeed, sir.
And if it's okay with the players, we got to make sure that's the case.
Let's get it started. So the map's gonna be Cloud Kingdom, which is a pretty staple map to both Wings of Liberty and, of course, Heart of the Swarm. It's a very standard map. There's a lot of new maps, though. Heart of the Swarm's bringing a lot of new maps. You know, GSL has new maps. Pro League has new maps. We have a new Sunday winter showdown series for qualification matches for Dallas starting out next week. And there's gonna be a lot of new maps in that as well. Ones taken from the beta and some ones from other leagues as well.
Yes,
so.
it's a very what's the word? Not unique. There's a lot of unique maps in it.
This is true. Well, we got a big map pool because
it's a big map pool.
The idea is we want to try to test and see which maps are the best ones.
Yep.
At the professional level play, and then we'll take the good maps and use them in Dallas.
Because honestly, even the maps we've seen for a long time could potentially play very differently with all these new units.
And yes, Heart of the Storm changes everything.
That are being implemented. So yeah, the starting map is going to be Cloud Kingdom in this King of the Hill on Friday. And be sure to tweet. Be sure to get on Reddit, get on Team Liquid, and go ahead and tell people this is going on. You can also join the chat. I know there's a lot of scholarly individuals in the chat as we speak right now. They probably want to have a nice little conversation about the game, maybe throw out some predictions. Tell us, maybe say why I'm terrible because I called something wrong or something. But yeah, it's available to you. It is your resource to really enhance your experience when watching these games. So in the top right-hand location, we have the Blue Protoss player, Babyknight, which is a little bit weird to say because yesterday I was always calling him Zerg, and his opponent in the bottom left is going to be the Red Zerg player, Goswser, the map being Cloud Kingdom. And these guys did have a PVZ yesterday on this map, except different races. And I think this was the map where Goswser did that Sentry, Zealot, Stalker, 2-base, 7-gate push-ish, something like that?
Yeah. Very, very, very strong push. Babyknight just didn't quite have enough units. Or it was a 5-gate push, I believe.
5-gate.
Yeah. It was 3-gate expo, had 2 more gates and go. Look at Babyknight's first pylon, though. That's a really interesting position for it. It's something I've seen once or twice before, usually with the gateway expand. And the idea is that your gateway is in the wall, but you don't expose your first pylon. Because if you don't have the cannon, sometimes they get Zergans in, if they kill your pylon, you're in big trouble. But the gateway is much harder to kill, so you can put the gateway on the low ground, pylon on the high ground, then later on you finish off the wall with another low ground pylon and another gateway. But it's a pretty cool little wall in there.
Babyknight's going to throw down the Nexus first. Playing very safe as this game goes along as far as that first pylon, as you noted, but the Nexus first, a little bit more risky, but he's able to do this because he scouted the fact that his opponent didn't go for that 6, 7, 8, 10 pull. Instead, it looks like it's that standard 13 pull. Trying to expand is Goswser. Babyknight might lose his first probe. Nope, going to keep it away, and Goswser is going to be able to take that natural expansion without too much delay. So both these players going to be comfortable at this point in time. Nothing too crazy has happened to throw either one of them off.
Some nice micro-ended probe by Babyknight, though. He really delayed the hatchery for quite a while and still got away with that probe. It's still alive, still hanging around, doing some great scouting information for him. So he's showing that Protoss is definitely his strongest race here. Just starting off with some great probe control and a really cool wall. I mean, he didn't go for the gateway first, but I still like the idea of that first pylon on the high ground. When you know you're playing against a guy who is notorious for doing early spawning pulls.
Yeah, the probe is still trying to square away, trying to check on the status of this third base. I'm not sure if it was able to actually.
Has not seen it quite yet.
No, did not see that. He did see the lack of gas in his opponent's main base, so that should be enough information for him to not feel like he has to build 4 additional cannons or something like that. Going to be adding on 2 gases in his main base. Let's see how many he saturates it with. Yeah, 2 in each, and this feels like Wings of Liberty so far, but anything can happen in Heart of the Swarm. We'll have to see who makes the first deviation into the newer stuff, and Babyknight not able to sneak into that third to
just
check
a couple squares short of there, and that's actually a really nice advantage for Goswser, because Babyknight has to be afraid of maybe potential early roaches, banings, etc. Or some weird fast lair play. We've seen Goswser do that Swarm Host rush. And actually that was a 1 base against Zerg, but you could do it with 2 bases against Protoss just as easily. So Babyknight definitely has to be a little bit careful. Getting the Zealot out, I actually anticipate he'll probably send it. I don't know. Do you think he'll send a Zealot out to scout or not?
Cloud Kingdom is a short enough distance where it could definitely get there before it dies or anything. But of course, there's the risk of losing the Zealot.
There's also the risk if your opponent masks a whole bunch of slow Zerglings for some reason.
Yeah,
you don't have that the holes open in your wall and they can just run right through there. So
that's such a risky play.
It is. It looks like Babyknight's getting multiple Zealots, +1 weapons, several additional warp gates. I expect pretty soon to see a Mothership Core being produced, maybe some Mothership Core / Zealot aggression early on in this game.
Yeah, it looks like he definitely wants to be aggressive, indicative of the fact that he doesn't have a 3rd and 4th gas. He's adding on additional gateways, not really teching up anywhere. Doesn't have a Robo on the way, doesn't have a Stargate on the way. He also has the option of potentially taking a 3rd base, but without any tech on the field, that can be very dangerous because you have to eventually, get something to deal with the inevitable Lean Roach attacks that would potentially hit that 3rd, and there's going to be the Stargate on the field from Babyknight. So might just try to do a little bit of pressure here, put his opponent off guard, and then maybe follow up with Oracles, and hopefully for him, do a lot of damage to his opponent's economy.
This looks very, very similar to some of the builds you saw coming out of the Shu earlier. This could end up being like the staple PvC way of playing in Heart of the Storm. Shu did use Mothership Core as well to back up the Silo Harassment. Babyknight saying, I'm going to save the minerals and gas, focus on probe production, and just try to do damage to pure gateway units.
Stalker might get surrounded here, trying to keep that probe alive. That Stalker sneaking around everywhere. 4 Zealot's going to try to warp in, but no, the pylon gets taken out, so the Zealot's going to be canceled and not going to be able to be placed near that 3rd base, which means Goswser is going to be very happy at this point, knows that there's not much potential for his opponent to be aggressive, even scouting with an Overlord into his opponent's base, and he definitely will scout this Stargate that's currently producing a Void Ray. So as far as this game goes along, I feel like Goswser is going to be the happier person at this point in time.
He is. He's still producing those roaches, though, perhaps afraid he missed the pylon somewhere on the map, or there's some secret warp prism coming around it that's going to snag at him, though. He is getting Spore Crawlers, so he's going to be definitely ready for this Void Ray, as you mentioned. He's got it with that Overlord. Going up to Lair as well. Babyknight with the relatively fast third base.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what he has to do. I mean, it's not like you could turn this into a 2-base all-in, especially considering your Void Ray was scouted. So gonna put that third base down, hope his opponent really invests a lot into Lings and Roaches, and then tries to attack the third, because I feel like that would be the best way for Babyknight to come back in this point. And Goswser, though, that's not what he's doing. He just made about 18 drones, and now he's all the way up to 72 in that Harvester count. So, you know, it looks like this is going to turn into a macro game, and Goswser is going to try to delay this Nexus as much as possible. Will this force a cancel? No, it won't.
Oh, and there's several Roaches going down. Nice, very efficient force fields there by Babyknight, just using 2 force fields to segment off a good chunk of Goswser user's army. I don't think he's too worried about losing those Roaches, though, as he is progressing into Zergling Mutalist play. Ooh. This is what Babyknight used to absolutely crush Goswser in that first game of the reverse rate show match.
Yep.
Goswser just saying, you know what, those
that was pretty good.
Yeah, they seem pretty good against Protoss.
Yeah, and we see Babyknight. There was something in the natural, I think.
Hallucinated Phoenix.
Ah, got it, yeah.
He's been, you know, it's really cool because you can, no matter what build you do now as Protoss, because you don't have to pay for that hallucination upgrade, you can always just mix it in as a scouting technique. You know, as long as you know you don't really need force fields in the near future, you've already killed the Roaches, you feel like you're pretty safe for now. It's such a great way to get really easy scouting information. I know, you know, in Wings of Liberty, you've seen with your Observer, you're like, the Observer's slow, and you're trying to get it in and explore their base, and you're like paranoid about losing it to a Queen and Overseer. Like, it's just a really awkward way to scout. Whereas the Hallucinated Phoenix can just get in there, cross the map fast, fly in wherever you want to send it. Great way to get intel.
Babyknight did spot the Spire. He has upgrades on the way, 2-2, and his High Templar Archives is already 70% of the way done. So also starting Blink. So he's probably going to start High Templar Storm right away. Get some High Templars on the ground so he can adequately prepare for these mutas. The question is, can he get sufficient numbers out in time to fend off this harassment? Does he require more cannons in his mineral lines? Because if you let mutalisks get out of control, if their numbers keep growing and growing, they become very, very difficult to stop.
You're talking about letting mutas out of control. There's 17 in production at the moment. They may already be out of control. Babyknight has a lot of upgrades, though. And there's one thing that's really good against Mutalists, it's definitely getting high-level upgrades, not to mention the Storm and Blink Tech on the way as well.
Yeah, I love the 2-2 there. That helps so much against those mutas. Of course, Babyknight's multitasking is going to be challenged here. He has to deal with defending 3 mineral lines against quite a few Zerglings, quite a few mutas. That's going to help. Nice time warp. And the Lynx can't really retreat through there because they'll be so slow, and they're going to have to commit. The mutas coming in as well. Goswser feeling confident to engage, but immediately backing away, hitting right as Babyknight 2-2 finished. I think he hit actually just before it finished, but still deciding to back away there. Babyknight with some solid defense, and that gives him more time. Let's say Goswser had decided to go straight for the natural expansion. That might have been a little bit more vulnerable, but now Babyknight, the High Templar that's right there, is has enough energy for Storm, and Storm is about to finish, but the muta's coming in here, targeting down the cannon. Babyknight desperately going to be chrono boosting that Storm upgrade. The High Templar is not going to get away, and now these probes are extremely vulnerable.
Oh, and this is such a bad situation. Once the mutas get in and start doing damage, the hands of a good Zerg, they can often keep circling around doing more and more and more damage. Goswser is making so much of these mutas. I mean, look at the food difference. Like, he's been macroing so well behind it. Even when he got all those Zerglings cut off by the time warps, he said, you know what? They're already in there. Why not pick the Archon off? Because they're going to die anyway. So he does that. Now he's back in the third, doing even more damage. Whoa! What a storm there.
Great storm underneath those mutalisks. Babyknight needs a lot more than that, though, to deal with them. Blinking for the Stalkers, and Goswser is going to back away, giving Babyknight more time to get additional units on the field. Behind this, Goswser is up to 98 drones. Going to be macroing like a champ. Probably going to take a 5th base fairly soon, prioritizing those gases. No hive just yet as far as I've seen. Not even an infestation pit, so it looks like he wants to stay on Mutalisk for quite a long time. Might even add on a second Spire. Yes, there it is, the second Spire placed down at the natural expansion. So Goswser, he's going to go mass mutas, and we'll have to see if Babyknight can stop it.
I mean, once you get this many Mutalisks, there's not enough space to put in a sufficient number of cannons to really fend them off. Storms are great, But with this regen, as long as Goswser is careful enough not to get hit by several storms in a row, as long as he flies out of there before all the mutas die, they will regenerate and come back.
Babyknight still being very proactive with those hallucinated phoenixes. Checked on that hive timing, saw that was still a layer, so he should know that his opponent is sticking with the mutas. Let's see if Babyknight can react appropriately. Cannon getting sniped away at the natural expansion. Goswser going to split up his forces a little bit, sending Lings over towards the third base, keeping his mutas outside of his opponent's natural expansion. Additional cannons going on here for Babyknight, but I don't see Goswser allowing these to complete.
Look at this. Look how many spines are being produced by Goswser. 16 in production. This guy just really wants to be sure he's safe at home. Mutas is trading great with those Stalkers, even with those massive upgrades that Babyknight has. There's just too many Mutas on the field.
Where are his High Templars? Babyknight needs... He's turning them into Archons. I'm a little bit confused.
Archons is not going to cut it against Mutas. You really got to use that that Sonic Storm. But, you know, the new Heartless Storm Mutas, I'm not even sure Sonic Storm can really deal with them. I think you may have to use... maybe 7-range Phoenix. Get that range upgrade, crank out Phoenix.
I mean...
and really exploit that.
I think the biggest issue right now is just protecting your mineral lines. And as long as you place the High Templar Storms correctly, to keep those mutas away from your mineral lines, I think it's an okay thing to do. Of course, eventually you're going to have to move out. And that's when you just got to have everything together. Oh, great storm.
That is a storm.
The Stalker's going to be blinking forward, trying to do damage. And Babyknight sees the mutas reinforcing. Gosh, how many is this? 40.
40 mutas. As Goswser gets more and more gas, there's going to come a point where he's going to actually just start killing off some of his drones. He's been doing that, building more and more spine crawlers. You can see even after this, his drone count was still like in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
And judging by number of spines, I mean, he was at 3-digit drones for a good part of this game just to get that mineral bank that you need to then build all that mass spine force.
These mutas are already pretty much full health once again, going straight to that natural. 2 cannons there. That's not going to be enough. The Stalkers might blink forward any moment. They are 3-3 on the upgrade. Shield level 1 is on the way as well. So Babyknight trying to get some sort of advantage here. Just trying to keep those mutas away. And now he's going to try to secure this 4th base. And the thing about Cloud Kingdom is it's not incredibly difficult to defend each base as it goes along, because it kind of...
It's like a logical line.
Right, it's kind of a line. The issue is going to be defending the 4th and defending the natural, because the 4th is significantly further away from the natural than the 3rd is, logically. So we'll have to see how Babyknight decides to handle that. Has a bunch of Archons here that they're trying to keep those mutas away. Is that going to be enough? No, the Nexus is going to stay alive for now.
Saved there.
Oh, no. Baneling's coming in here from Goswser. Force Field's going down. Not the most cost-efficient. I think Babyknight's going to be okay with that, but the Nexus being delayed, that's going to be the biggest deal. The Stalker's going to blink forward, trying to deal with this Archons. Doing the splash damage. No! Oh my god, the Muta's getting melted by the Archons and the Stalkers. Babyknight fist pumping, and he's going to go across the map. Goswser is saying, I screwed up there. I just lost about 10,000 worth of resources, and now Babyknight's going on the counterattack path.
Man, that was probably a misclick. I mean, Mutas can actually do okay against Archons, but not if you put him in a tiny dot. Goswser working for Babyknight's favor, but you know, it's not over yet. This is why he built all those spine crawlers.
All right, we have the kills on these Archons. It's ridiculous. 19, 5, 9, 11 on these Archons. Baneling's coming forward as well. Spine crawlers desperately trying to hold on. Keep in mind, Goswser is 1 win away from the prize, so he needs to win this. Babyknight, he's the challenger. He's trying to put a stop to this. He lost to Goswser in the off-race showdown yesterday. Goswser going to go for a counterattack here. There are plenty of cannons at that 3rd base, but not going to be enough here to defend against all of these units. Babyknight desperately trying to warp in reinforcements here, and Babyknight is actually just going to back away to try to deal with this. Goswser just trying to stall for time, trying to get more mutas on the field, but can't make another mistake like he just did, losing all of those mutas.
Yeah, that was not at all good for Goswser. Look at the units lost tab. That'll tell you the story of what's happened this game. Gosh. Massive. I mean, what was it, like 40 mutas?
If I don't watch it right after this game ends, I'm gonna watch it a little bit later just to see that again. That'll definitely be on the top 5.
Yes.
In the near future.
You know what's interesting? That was like an Archon toilet, except there was no vortex.
Yep.
It was like it was a teamwork Archon toilet.
Yes.
One player puts your guys in a dot, the other guy sends in the Archons. Worked out great for Babyknight, but he's not allowed fire yet. He's got the 40-foot advantage, but Goswser has a very highly mobile army. He can threaten these counterattacks and base races, And he has a pretty solid defense in most of his bases.
There's one storm, but the Muta's going to soak that up, no problem. You can't say the same about Archons. Look at this, Babyknight going to try to flank and catch these Mutas off guard. Look out for the blink. There's the blink. Going to catch... No, going to do
almost,
about 10
not
damage.
quite. Not quite. There's a swarm host there.
Where?
You know what's really cool?
Where?
So it's there just to control the watchtower by constantly killing. He's going to constantly kill all of
Babyknight had an observer like that.
It's just pretty funny because like you wouldn't even notice it, right?
Yeah.
It's not actually really attacking most of your units.
That's amazing. And he could send the Locust to take vision.
It was really funny.
Never seen that before. All right, Babyknight engaging in Goswser's side of the map. Goswser going for a counterattack, cannot engage Babyknight straight on. This might be his only way back into this game. Babyknight retreating his Stalkers to his third base, has a High Templar there, has to be very careful on how he distributes his Storm. There goes the Storm onto the Lings and some of the Mutas, so Babyknight going to hold off that attack for now, and now Goswser has to find out a way to deal with this this counterattack into his third base.
I don't think he can. I mean, the third is forfeit, but I do think I don't think there's any Storms left to guard Babyknight's third base. If Goswser masses up all his Zerglings and the additional Mutas that he's gotten, he might be just break Babyknight's third.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Babyknight needs to make sure he has enough High Templar there to deal their Storm, so the Mutas can't do that. But he's going to come forward here. Oh no, he's misclicking his Stalkers a little bit, going to blink back, but now the blink cooldown is gone. Goswser's going to try to take advantage, trying to get that damage done with the Lings and the Mutas. There's the Storm. I would be a lot more excited about that, but only bringing him down to the orange, and that's not going to kill these Mutas. But Goswser, that is going to be enough to force him to back away. I think Babyknight needs at least 2 or 3 High Templars here. In order to deal with his Mutas, and at least just keep that base safe. Because if he can keep that base alive, he's in a great position in this game.
He is. I mean, Goswser's just pinned in the background. Maybe the Spines can protect him for a short amount of time, but as soon as Babyknight finds out about Goswser's third base, there's no way Goswser can protect that.
All right, we'll have to see if Babyknight can discover that and wrap around to kill it. Meanwhile, Goswser once again trying to prevent Babyknight from taking an expansion, and he's going to be successful. Babyknight doesn't have near enough to deal with his Archon, continuing to do some damage. The Muse is going to try to magic box the Archon. We don't see that too often, and Babyknight going to try to blink away with those Stalkers. Keep in mind, Babyknight has a flanking force advancing up the middle of the map to try to prevent these Mutas from retreating, but the Nexus will end up getting canceled. But Babyknight still has that supply lead, 180 to 111. And again, as you said, Goswser only on one base, and this base is extremely vulnerable, and I think Babyknight smells it.
Does he know about the base, though? He might not even know about it. He doesn't. He's checking the corners. He has no idea Goswser is mining a hardcore, and the Spines are all being moved over.
All right, will that be enough Spines?
Oh, I don't think so. That is so much Protoss. But you know, it is enough Spines that Babyknight has to send its entire force to attack that. That gives the Mutas another opportunity to counterattack. But wait, they're circling in. Oh, there they go.
Goswser's a little bit indecisive. You're going to re-engage at that fourth base. I don't think Babyknight is really concerned about losing this base.
What about his third, though? There's nothing
there.
there.
He should be worried. Uh-oh, probes are going to die.
Probes are being. There's one storm, but that Templar is going to die. If the Mutas kill third base, Babyknight will no longer have economy. We could be in this really cool situation where the Mutas might eventually
just
pick off.
Slowly picking off units here, units there. That could definitely happen.
One more Templar! Oh, just barely missed on that Storm. Archon's coming to cut off another Storm, but the Mutas, almost no Mutas die there. Goswser's lamenting his earlier mistake. Now it's just a really tough spot for
yeah.
I mean, it's a tough spot for him. He still has the Mutas, but I feel Babyknight has enough units. He's going to split his army in half.
Yep.
Half on defense, half on offense.
Yep.
And there's really nothing Goswser can do.
Yeah, I mean, he's at 71 food. That stat alone compared to Babyknight's 182. I don't care what matchup it is. I don't care what units either player has. Whenever you're down by that much, it's going to be very difficult to come back into the game, unless, of course, it's like 182 drones against, you know, whatever
or
supply
there's infestors
worth of Ravens, or the infestors.
Yes.
True enough. Which Goswser has enough gas to make, but I think he lost his substation.
Yeah, he has no minerals either. So I mean, he really... You know, Babyknight's not mining either. Some more probes going down. Eventually, Babyknight
even infestors against an army like this, like...
Well, if you had like 30.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Like, if all the Mutas were infestors, maybe.
How much supply is an infestor? There's the victory for Babyknight.
2, sir.
2? Okay, so 30 infestors would be 60
food, yeah. It's not much food. It's surprising. Surprising how some small...
Infestors only 2 supply?
Yes, sir. He said about Ravens. We were there.
I just keep
we were
getting-
sitting there playing earlier, and I had this army of like 50 Ravens or something. It was like 120
how did you make
supply.
that many Ravens, Nicholas?
And it's like, you're only 2 supply, man.
Like, oh.
Same as Infestors, same as Templar. Spellcasters are really, really supply efficient in this game.
Yeah, very, especially consider how much damage they could potentially do.
Yeah.
Of course, the Infestors. A lot of people calling that one of the best units in the game for good
I mean,
reason.
Sonic Storm or Hunter
That
Seeker,
too, yeah.
both very good as well.
Yeah. So that concludes game number 1 of our King of the Hill. Goswser taken out. Of course, he had won 4 games in a row leading up to that game. Babyknight able to catch him off guard a little bit. Of course, Goswser might have, he said he mishotkeyd, but he bunched all of his mutas together against about 3 or 4 Archons, and that's going to spell disaster if you ever do that. You saw it there. Lots of blood, lots of guts from the Zerg.
Yeah.
And Babyknight able to convert that, that nice little misstep into victory for himself.
It worked out great for him.
Yeah, so he's going to continue in this King of the Hill. We'll have to see who his challenger is. If you're a pro player, if you're really good at StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm, at least Grandmaster, join channel MLG and I'll try to get you involved. That being said, we'll be right back with Game 2 of this King of the Hill. Don't go anywhere.